Every guy thinks he knows what women fantasize about: romantic dates, sweet kisses, flowers scattered on the bed. But here's the uncomfortable truth: what really runs through her mind late at night is darker, deeper, and far more primal than she'll ever admit. She won't say it out loud. She won't even tell her closest friends. Because every woman carries one secret fantasy. A desire so powerful it would shock you if she confessed it. And she hides it for one reason: if you knew, you'd never look at her the same way again. So listen carefully, because once you understand this hidden craving, you'll never see women the same way again. Her forbidden dream is this: losing control. No matter how strong, confident, or independent she appears, buried in the shadows of her mind is a longing to surrender. She'll never write it in her journal. She'll never whisper it over wine with her girlfriends. But it's there, burning quietly, waiting to be awakened. On the outside, women are trained to be in control. They run businesses, raise families, handle responsibilities with precision. They'll tell you they don't need anyone. And they mean it. But deep inside, that endless control is exhausting. And in her most secret fantasies, control is the very thing she wants to let go of. What she craves is the opposite: a man who makes her feel safe enough to release everything. A man steady enough, certain enough, strong enough that she can finally stop holding on. That's why women are drawn to men who radiate confidence, calm authority, and presence. Because deep down, her body isn't fantasizing about schedules and checklists, it's fantasizing about freedom. About release. About being swept into something primal that makes her forget who she's supposed to be and lets her just be. And here's the paradox: the more powerful and independent she is in public, the more intense this fantasy becomes in private. The CEO, the boss, the woman who seems untouchable, that's the one most likely to ache for surrender in the arms of a man who knows what he's doing. The higher the wall she builds, the more intoxicating it feels when they finally fall. But she'll never tell you. Why? Because it makes her vulnerable. She fears you'll judge her, see her as weak, or worse, use it against her. So she hides it behind smiles, small talk, and that good woman act. Yet if you ever glimpse this side of her, if she ever lets it slip, you'll be stunned by how deep it goes. Psychology explains it with polarity. Masculine and feminine energy are opposites, and opposites create attraction. The feminine at its core longs to feel, to flow, to surrender. The masculine at its core is built to lead, to direct, to claim. When a man embodies that grounded certainty, the feminine instinctively softens, opens, and lets go. This isn't weakness, it's biology. It's psychology. It's the timeless dance between masculine and feminine. Here's the truth: her forbidden fantasy isn't about danger. It's about safety. She can only surrender to a man she trusts completely. That's why needy, hesitant, approval-seeking men never see this side of her. They don't inspire surrender. They inspire caution. But the man who moves with quiet certainty, who doesn't beg, who doesn't flinch, that's the man who unlocks her secret. Because without words, she knows, he can handle her. And once she feels that, her whole body gives in. Picture this. You're out to dinner. She's charming, witty, totally in control of the room. Then you lean in, lower your voice, and tell her, "We're leaving in 5 minutes. You're coming with me." You don't ask. You don't explain. You just say it with calm certainty. Outwardly, she might smirk, tease, or roll her eyes. But inside? She's shivering. Because in that moment, you've pulled her out of her head and back into her body. You've awakened the exact fantasy she never dares confess. And here's the dangerous part: once you unlock this side of her, she'll never look at you, or any other man, the same way again. Because you'll be the one who gave her what she craves, the ecstasy of losing control. So remember, when women describe their ideal man, with polite words like kind, caring, or romantic, that's just a mask. That's what's safe to say. But the fantasy that keeps her awake at night? The one she'll never admit? It's this forbidden dream of surrender. To be claimed. To be wanted so deeply she can't resist. Most men will never touch this side of her. They're too nice, too polite, too hesitant. And so she keeps the fantasy buried. But if you're bold enough to awaken it, you'll become unforgettable, the one man she can't hide from, can't resist, and can't forget. So the only question is, are you that man? Or will her fantasy stay locked away in the dark, living only in her imagination instead of in your hands?